And she's going to help introduce us to cryptocurrency, and she's going to take a lot of questions after that. So please welcome Randi Hipper.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. My name is Randi, also known as Miss Teen Crypto on social media. You guys might have seen me walking in the hallway. I graduated June 2021, so you guys were probably a sophomore or freshman, depending if you were a junior or a senior when I was here. But I graduated June 2021. Today I'm going to just be talking about Bitcoin, crypto, NFTs, very simple, to the point type stuff. Just to give you a little bit of background about me, when I was 13 in 2016, my dad was telling me about this Bitcoin thing. I was like, what is this number thing? I was ignoring him. I thought he was absolutely nuts, and I essentially didn't think I could do anything with Bitcoin. By the time I was 16, I was here at Xaverian 2019, did my first Bitcoin transaction, and I saw how easy it was to use. All you have to do is scan a QR code, copy and paste an address or a username, and that's it. Anyone, anywhere in the world can send and receive money or value instantly. It didn't matter how old you were, where you came from, no bias. By the time I was 17, it was April 2020. As we all know, that was a horrible time. No school, no anything, complete lockdown. I wanted to do something positive. I wanted to be a part of the crypto community. Saw the handle Miss Teen Crypto. I created it, was available on all platforms, so you know what that means. I just took it and ran with it. Started tweeting. By the time it was November 2020, I was, putting art on the blockchain, was making NFTs and interviewing strangers on the street about Bitcoin and crypto. That ultimately led me to doing more education within the space. I spoke to middle school, high schools, colleges, conferences all around the country. It ultimately led me to things like Fox Business, so I'm going to be on Fox Business for my third time on Friday. I'll be in studio, so 2 to 3 p.m. if you guys are home. I'll be live on TV. But that's all really cool. It's all about education. So that's what I'm here for today, Bitcoin and crypto. It's all really simple, and I'm just going to give you guys a quick overview, and then we could do some questions at the end if you guys want. So Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency. Doesn't mean anything crazy, just means it's digital cash with no intermediaries, and it functions using something called the blockchain. It's basically a digital ledger. So if you create a Bitcoin transaction, you could see all your past transactions, how much Bitcoin you have in your wallet. You could also see every other transaction that's ever been conducted using Bitcoin, which is something we need because in the traditional system, you don't have any transparency. You don't know where money goes anywhere, right? If you donate to a charity, you just donate to somebody. You don't see where the money goes. Whereas with Bitcoin cryptocurrency, you provide, okay, I see my transaction went from this person to this person, and this is what they're doing with the funds. Just a quick example. How are Bitcoin created? Bitcoin is mined. It's not like physical gold mining where you're just putting a pick in the ground, but it is using computers. And basically what these computers do is they solve complex math problems in order to form a block on the blockchain. So once someone, again a miner, fills out and completes this complex math algorithm, they form a block on the blockchain, and they're also rewarded in Bitcoin for mining and solving that block. So it's all really simple, just a network, to put it simply. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin to exist. Now you see what we've been dealing with the past few years, inflation, right? Our money supply continuously going up, right? With Bitcoin, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin to ever exist. Now you could do the math, guys. There's 21 million Bitcoin to ever exist. How many people are there in the world, right? Not everyone is going to be able to get one Bitcoin. It's good. 21 million Bitcoin, it creates that finite supply. It gives you that idea of digital gold or a new store of value, just like a savings account is what Bitcoin could be looked at as. And you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's like $28,400, I think we pumped up to just now over the past hour. You don't have to buy one whole Bitcoin. Bitcoin is divisible. So think about it, 100 cents equals $1. 100 million Satoshis is equal to 1 Bitcoin. So you could just go to an exchange and buy $1 worth of Bitcoin. All it is basically a currency conversion. So again, 100 million Satoshis is 1 Bitcoin, just like 100 cents is equal to $1. The best thing about Bitcoin is that it's peer-to-peer. There's no intermediary. So I mentioned the word decentralized before. So again, decentralized means that there is no one in control of you. There's no one in control of your funds. So when I transact with Bitcoin, it's like handing a dollar bill from me to, let's say, you. There's no one in between us. He's not taking my dollar from me and then handing it to you. It's strictly me to you. And that's really important, again, because you want to be able to communicate directly with people instead of, again, having these intermediaries approving your transactions. Because when you transact traditionally with the debit card, what you're doing is tap and paying, then it goes through all of these other banks, and they're saying, okay, you could purchase it, okay, you have money in your account, we're going to allow this purchase to go through. You don't want to ask for that permission. You just want to be able to transact. Bitcoin, again, is borderless. So anyone, anywhere in the world can send and receive Bitcoin as long as you have an internet connection. And the most fascinating thing is that in countries like Africa, you don't even need to have an internet connection to transact with Bitcoin. People are literally transacting with Bitcoin over flip phones. Internet connection or not, you can still use Bitcoin. It's borderless. I don't know if you guys have been seeing, but things like Western Union, MoneyGram, when you use these third-party services to send money internationally, it's an egregious amount of fees. It takes a certain amount of days. If you try to send money to somebody on Friday, it's probably not going to get to them until Monday. That's an old system. At least with Bitcoin, it's instant, right on the spot. And again, it's borderless and peer-to-peer. You're transacting directly with somebody. Now, the whole idea of Bitcoin, fundamentally, it's not only just a digital cash, it also gives you the power to be your own bank. Right now, this is a picture from Silicon Valley Bank. I don't know why it's a little blurry on the TV, but what we have been experiencing is actually banks closing. And that's something you never, ever want to worry about, is a bank run, where you're like these guys right here, waiting outside of your bank for your money. With Bitcoin, you're able to be your own bank and practice self-custody. So we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but when you have Bitcoin, you put your Bitcoin in your wallet, a digital wallet, and from there, no one can take your Bitcoin from you. When you transact, there's no permission needed. It's a trustless, permissionless system. And that's what we need to rely on now that a lot of people are questioning where to put their money, considering if the bank closes, you can't access your funds. But if you go like these guys, wait outside the bank and get some cash, then you're always posing a risk to yourself because you're holding your money under your mattress. You never want to worry about someone breaking into your house. With Bitcoin, again, you have your digital wallet and you're able to keep those safe. Even if someone takes your phone, if someone takes your cold storage device that we'll talk about in a little bit, all that matters is that you are storing your crypto correctly and still no one can take it from you. I'll explain that more in a little bit. But being your own bank, again, is the premise, the fundamental of why you want to be in Bitcoin. No one can take your money from you. There are different types of cryptocurrency. Obviously, Bitcoin is the most popular. I'll give you two popular ones here, the ones that are really most important. Litecoin is another form of cryptocurrency. There's a capped supply of 84 million Litecoin, so it's basically like Bitcoin's little brother. It could be like the digital silver to Bitcoin's digital gold. It's fast. It's cheaper than Bitcoin to use. So if you're going to do a transaction, I would do it with Litecoin. Litecoin also has a new privacy feature out that allows you to, when you traditionally transact, you're able to just tap and pay. No one can see how much money is in your account. No one can see your past transactions. And that's what you need. It's a part of sound money is privacy. Litecoin, you're able to just opt in and have that privacy, but you could also choose not to do that and completely have all your transactions out on the blockchain. But Litecoin is the longest running blockchain with 100% uptime, and it's over 11 years old. So you want something that's reliable, something that's constant, and that's Litecoin. Again, it's a lot cheaper and faster than Bitcoin to use, as if you're doing large amounts of money you're moving, or even small amounts of money. You also have Ethereum, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of. That's what they kind of promote most on the news. It's the blockchain that kind of opened the doors for DeFi or decentralized finance. Ethereum's a little different than Bitcoin and Litecoin. Usually Bitcoin and Litecoin, people are looking at it as more of a store of value, more of money, even though Litecoin could allow you to do some of the stuff that Ethereum does right now. But Ethereum kind of opened the doors for more apps to be built on Ethereum and NFTs, and we could go over into NFTs a little bit later. But Ethereum, there's always different coins and types of blockchains out there that serve different purposes. So Ethereum is more for like DeFi, playing games, and interacting with different types of things using the blockchain.
There's no cap on it?
There's no cap on Ethereum, but recently, like, it's a little techy and I didn't want to get too deep, but proof of stake, it recently moved from proof of work, how Bitcoin is mined, to proof of stake. And now it kind of proof of stake makes it a little deflationary, but there was no cap supply on Ethereum to begin with. Now, NFTs are probably something you've seen. You've probably seen these monkeys on the news, Bored Apes. NFT stands for non-fungible token. Again, not anything crazy. It's just a scary kind of name. Non-fungible tokens, they're basically just, it's a digital asset that belongs to you and you only. It could certify ownership of something. So, for example, we've all been buying digital items within games our whole lives. Just like when we were little, our parents, our family members, they were giving us iTunes gift cards and our birthday cards or our Christmas cards. That was digital money. You were not just throwing physical cash at your computer screen and buying some games. You had virtual cash. From then, you bought virtual games. You bought virtual outfits, virtual weapons, tokens within games. Just like Fortnite, you buy your V-Bucks, and you transact within the game using that currency. The only difference is you didn't own it. You couldn't take those V-Bucks and send those V-Bucks to a friend. You couldn't take those skins or your weapons and send it to a friend. Now with NFTs and even the new sector called GameFi, if you look into gaming and Web3, you have that ownership. So if I buy a skin in a game, for example, I can then trade that skin. I could send it to a friend for something else, or I could just send it to them. I could sell it on a secondary market, or I can even rent it out. So you get sick of a game, you're not playing it for a while, why not have that asset do something instead of it letting sit dormant in your wallet? So you could rent out your NFT to somebody, your skin in the game, I'm not using it, you could use it, earn this amount, and we split. It's a really interesting way of being able to, again, own your stuff. NFTs, again, it doesn't have to be games, it doesn't have to be just music and art. NFTs can really be anything. Just like when I graduated, I would love if I had an NFT to represent my diploma, because I could have a diploma that could have been printed anywhere, and people would have to go to Xaverian to verify I went here. But if my diploma was an NFT, you would have seen on the blockchain, Xaverian High School minted this piece of certificate. That certificate was then sent to Miss Teen Crypto. Not only does the NFT validate I went here, but the transactions also prove that I interacted with Xaverian, if that makes sense. It's just more transparency, and it gives you more verifiability, more authenticity.
Have you heard of schools doing that now?
I have heard of a school doing it once. Actually, if you look into the California DMV, they're actually using NFTs there now to certify things. Wow. Oh, and not using Ethereum, but a different blockchain. I forgot what it was. But definitely, NFTs are being integrated everywhere. If you look at other countries, they're literally doing tokenized bonds on the blockchain. They're using bonds that have no banks even having anything to do with it. So NFTs, cryptocurrency, this is what I'm giving you guys is just surface level basic stuff, but there's so much more to it. The more you fall down the rabbit hole, the more you'll find use cases for it. Just like you guys, a lot of you guys are probably taking digital art. They teach you digital art here on your iPads. The next step is putting that on the blockchain. Be your own art gallery. Don't wait for a physical art gallery owner to say your art is okay. I'll allow you to put your art here. Take control. Put your art on stage in front of a global audience. Basically, think of an NFT marketplace like an Amazon or an eBay, where people are just listing their items and you can go buy it from them. So basically, that's what you do with an NFT. You're an artist. You put your art out there. People could buy it from you. And then if someone else buys it and chooses to sell it to another person, you'll get a cut of that, which is something that people miss out traditionally as well. Now, how do you store Bitcoin, crypto, and NFTs? Again, this goes back to being your own bank and what we talked about before. It's taking responsibility. Right now, again, you're relying on your banks to store your funds. You're relying on a third-party app, like maybe a PayPal, a Venmo, to store your funds. You do not want to do that because we've seen, again, banks go down. You want to be able to have money that belongs to you, and this is how you do it. Step one to being your own bank is getting a wallet. We'll go into the two types of wallet in a moment. Now, either type of wallet you will get something called a recovery phrase. These are 12 to 24 randomly generated words, as you could see, something like this. And they are called recovery phrases because if you drop your phone in a puddle, you lose your cold storage device. What matters is those words. Someone takes your phone and say, I'm going to steal your Bitcoin, or I'm going to take your cold storage device and steal your Bitcoin. If they do not have these words, if they don't have your passwords on top of these words, they cannot get your crypto. You drop your phone in a puddle, you get a new phone, you download whatever app you have again, and you enter these words. So don't lose these words and do not give them to anyone. Just like you wouldn't give your social security password out, you wouldn't give your banking username and password out, you don't give this out. Because once people have control of these words, then they have control of all of your funds. So don't lose this list and never give this to anybody that you don't trust. And make sure if you do have a wallet, you make a few copies. You always want to be careful. Now there's two types of wallets. One is called a hot wallet. A hot wallet is basically like this, an app on your phone. And it's hot because it could be touched at any time and it's vulnerable to more attacks, right? If you get SIM swapped, someone could basically mirror your phone. You do a Bitcoin transaction or you're in your wallet, they could take your funds. It's most likely not going to happen, but something you have to be careful. So a hot wallet, it's an app on your phone, easily accessible. You're on your phone, you're out with your friends, you can easily transact from there. Two good types of hot wallets. There's a ton of them out there, but really good apps that I like that are able to connect to different things. If you're doing things with gaming, NFTs, and you're deeper into the space, you want to exchange, swap coins, I suggest Exodus Wallet and Trust Wallet are probably like my top two. I have a list of a bunch of others if you guys want to ask me after. Then we also have cold wallets. Cold wallets, oh, my picture. It didn't go through. That's okay. A cold wallet is an offline wallet. This is basically like your safety vault. Like you go into a castle, right? You see that huge vault in that room that no one can get into. It's full of gold. It's full of cash. It's basically your cold wallet. You'll get those words just like you did your hot wallet, those 12 to 24 words. You write them down. You probably create a password on top of that. And this is something that, again, is completely offline and nobody can touch. And make sure when you're buying a cold storage wallet that you buy it directly from the brand to avoid any tampering. Top cold wallets. I don't know why my pictures aren't popping up, but we got Ledger, Trezor, and Cool Wallet. I could just pull those up afterwards. I'm not sure why the picture's not popping up here. But how to buy Bitcoin and crypto. Basically, it's like an exchange. Again, my pictures aren't popping up, but when you go to an airport and you go to a currency exchange, what you're doing is an actual currency swap. You go to the airport, you exchange your US dollars for, let's say, euros. You take those euros, you put them in your pocket, and you continue going on with your day. That's exactly what you have to do when you buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. When you buy Bitcoin and crypto, you typically buy it from an exchange. So you go on an app, you fill out some information, and basically you go on there and say, I'm buying $20 of Bitcoin. You get that Bitcoin on that app, and you send it out to your wallet. You always want to make sure you have your Bitcoin in your wallet. Again, that's the whole reason why you're in Bitcoin, is because you want to be your own bank. You want to be in control of your funds. We left the banks in the traditional financial system because we don't want a custodian. Do not treat exchanges like a custodian. Like I said, they're just an exchange. Take your Bitcoin and all the crypto that you're not willing to lose, you're not willing to sell, and put that in your wallet. Top exchanges to buy from: if you're 18 years and above, then you're able to go on an exchange. I recommend Coinbase and Gemini. If you guys want, I could give you a referral link after, so you could get some discounts and stuff when you start trading or you start buying. But those are the two popular in New York, is Coinbase and Gemini. If you're outside of New York, you have tons of other options, but New York has a little bit of a restriction thing going on. And if you're under 18, you can always look up Bitcoin ATMs on Google, and there's a ton of ATMs where you can actually go to, insert your money, and put your phone, and it scans your phone and sends you Bitcoin. Crypto survival tips, always DYOR. DYOR is the biggest rule in crypto. Simply means to do your own research. Just like if you were investing in real estate and if you're investing in the stock market, same thing with crypto. Do your own research. Take your time. It's not a rush. Start small if you want. And always, again, practice self-custody. Have your Bitcoin in your wallet. And make sure you don't click any fishy links, any weird links. Just like if you went on a bad website, you input your credit card information, you could get identity theft. The same thing with Bitcoin crypto. Don't click any of those weird links. Know what you're clicking, and that way your wallet doesn't get hacked and everything's all right. But always start small. Don't rush. Do your own research. And that's pretty much it. That's a quick overview of Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, NFTs. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know.